All right, and welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast. I'm Michael.
I'm Tyler.
And today we have a great episode planned in my mind. We're going to be recapping Week 1 games.
Yep.
Definitely overreacting to some teams, probably overhyping some and
What's
undervaluing
really the point
others.
if we're not going to overreact?
That's what everyone does in Week 1.
Exactly.
I do want to preface, this is recorded on Friday the 13th, so it is after the Carolina-Tampa game.
Right.
Which was a snoozer.
Yeah.
But we might get into it if we want.
A tad bit.
We could save it if we wanted to also.
I think we should save it for next week.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about.
Maybe we'll get some Cam injury news by then.
It looked
Because
like
he's definitely hurt.
But I do want to overreact to Titans-Browns.
Yeah.
I think that the Browns hype train, all of the Browns are going to be a top 2 team in the AFC. I think that's definitely died down.
Yeah.
And I think it deserves to be.
Right.
One thing that I've heard that needs to be addressed is when they did make that trade for Olivier Vernon, they also gave up their second best offensive lineman.
Exactly.
And you could tell.
Yeah.
Baker was getting pressured on a lot of throws.
Bad. I mean, didn't Cameron Wake have like 2.5 sacks?
Yeah, he's old. He's not 2.5 sacks good anymore.
Right.
He's still good, but he's not that. Baker was missing a lot of throws, which is not his thing.
I'm not on the Titans hype train though. I still think the Titans are going to be one of the worst teams
in the NFL. I was gonna bring that up to you. You said the Titans are going to be a bottom 3 team, and then they come out and 30 ball one of your a division winner for you.
I think the Browns will come into their own pretty soon here. I think that they just need some time to gel, and Odell needs to get in there, and I don't know. I generally don't like the argument of, oh, they need to gel, they haven't played together, but I do think it's valid in that, it's a young team, it's a team with a lot behind them, and I think as the season goes on, and with a basically new rookie head coach, that's actually a head coach now.
This is the first time I've ever heard him be humble as a head coach.
Yeah.
I was watching Rebuilding the Browns, and one of his things was, we have a guy coming in from Tampa's offense and Green Bay's defense, and he was making a big point that Steve Wilkes was his defensive coordinator.
Right.
My whole time listening to who he brought in as his staff, I was thinking these teams combined for like 10 wins maybe.
Yeah.
And you're hyping up this staff
right.
to be like a New England
Granted,
staff.
I mean, like, Steve Wilkes did get a head coaching position.
But everyone knew after like week 3 that, oh wow, he did not need this as
Right.
his job. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the things he did was terrible.
Right. I think that Brown staff is a little underrated. I don't think people are as high on the head coach as they should be. I think he earned that job,
I think he did. I don't think they should have hired anyone else.
Right. I mean, there was like McCarthy talk for a little bit. Like,
Yeah, but
that would have been terrible.
I like him because Baker likes him.
Yeah.
That's what you should think.
Right.
Who knows how he'll be as a coach. Handling Odell might have to be a problem. The way
Odell plus Landry plus Baker. I don't think Baker's going to be like a problem. I'm not really on that like cowherd train of people that think Baker's a problem.
I don't think he's a problem. I don't like Odell thinking, oh, if anyone else wore a watch, they'd be fine with it. When do you ever see people wear watches ever in sports? Like, Pat McAfee brought this up. He said, even in like Little League, Pop Warner, you don't wear watches.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's a metal thing, and if I get hit with it, it's going to hurt.
Right.
Like, it's not just you, Odell.
Yeah.
But also, maybe it is because maybe you're the only person that would wear a watch.
And it's like you'd think that Odell's finally like just kind of settling into it, like a team mentality. And I was always never on the train of people that thought he was like a cancer.
I don't think he's a cancer, but he's definitely.
But it's like, really, dude, you finally like calmed down for an off season. You're in a small market. You're on a good team for the first time in a while. And now you're doing the watch stuff. I mean,
granted, he is probably going to make more money than he's getting fined for. Because that watch company's definitely paying him.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't blame him for wearing it. But don't come out and say, like, oh, the NFL's targeting me for wearing this watch. Like, it's a rule.
Right.
If you break a rule, I mean, Brandon Marshall got fined for wearing cleats.
Yeah, for
mental
lime
health
green
awareness.
cleats.
Yeah, they were mental health awareness cleats. You're just
Yeah.
wearing a watch to wear a $350,000 watch.
Right.
There's no special purpose for it.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't someone get in trouble for wearing socks that were weird? Pretty sure Kamara did.
Was it Kamara?
I think he wore like weird socks, and the NFL fined him for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just you, Odell. If you break, they have a dress code. If you break
I think it was like DeAndre Hopkins wore like Yeezy cleats one time.
Oh yeah, they did not like that.
They fined him.
I want to bring up Bills of Jets. Our guy,
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
did not show up.
Not in the first 3 quarters of the game. It looked terrible. I mean, I watched a little bit and I was like, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, what happened?
I was like, I missed this pick.
Right, yeah.
Allen is not going to be our guy. 4th quarter, though. I saw him just pick apart the Jets.
Yeah.
He looked good. He was making throws.
Finally.
I know, he needed to make me look good. But
He's doing it for us.
he is. He hurt.
Yeah.
He led a 16-point comeback. They were down
Yeah.
16-0. Just came back, looked great. He got a
They
rushing
won that game
touchdown.
17-16,
Yep,
right?
17-16. Darnold did not play good.
Yeah.
He was struggling. But Allen looked good in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Similar to how well Kyler looked
Yes.
in his
I was
4th
going to
quarter.
say, Kyler, my guy Kyler.
Your guy, I was actually watching that game.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to bring this up. Like,
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch until overtime.
oh my
But
God.
I was hoping so bad that Kyler would pull something out
He
and
looked
win that game.
horrendous. I think at one point he was like 6 for 17
Yeah.
with a pick.
But that offensive line was not doing him any favors.
No, I mean, that's something I think I brought up in the my Rosen love is that
Right.
like he had one of the least talented teams, and once again we'll get into it.
I think that Arizona team is a lot better than Rosen's Arizona team.
It is. I mean, they drafted a lot of wide
Yeah.
receivers.
And also, Fitzgerald. Where'd that come from?
Wow.
He sucked last year. He was terrible. But now he shows up and does this.
I think he likes Kingsbury's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilkes was so boring.
And especially when they're the air raid, you're spreading the ball around, and Christian Kirk is doing his thing, and David Johnson's doing his thing, and that opens up Fitz a little bit.
I loved how Fitz looked.
Yeah.
He looked like his old self.
Right.
I think they looked good. But it still was a tie. And
Yeah.
it was against Detroit.
I mean,
A team that I don't think... How does Detroit blow a lead
but
like that,
they
though?
still have a terrible offensive line, and I don't think they're particularly talented. I think they're more talented than they were, but I still think they're talented.
One of the least
They're a
talented
bottom
team.
5 team, and we know that.
Yeah. Speaking about bottom 5, let's talk about the worst team in football.
The Miami
100%. There's no question. It's Miami.
Yeah.
Minka Fitzpatrick wants out.
What would be a good fit for him? What are we thinking there?
Well, Kansas City's not going to do it. He's too much.
And I think he's
in
too
pride.
similar to Tyron, to where they're not going to want to give up the
Yeah, I
assets
mean,
that they
both-
don't really have anyway.
They have none, and Miami's going to be asking for a ton.
Yeah.
He's a third-year guy who was like a top 10 pick, who
Right.
people were saying is a top 5 talent in that
Yeah.
draft. But
I heard some Cowboys rumors.
are they going to keep trading draft picks for guys? I mean
what are
it's a
they-
solid theory.
But you're gonna have to pay him at some point. They got to pay everybody.
Yeah,
at
they
some
can't.
point.
I don't think they can afford him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like good fits.
I've heard the asking price is too high for
Really?
teams. I don't know what the asking price is, but I've seen
I could
Schefter
I could
say
see
that
like Detroit maybe. I could see
him and Slay would be not. I don't know. It depends on what teams want to use him as, because he's one of those hybrid guys that can be.
I
I
think he very obviously wants to be a safety, and he's not really being used like that.
Yeah, they use him more as a corner, and he wants to be a safety.
Yeah.
He's amazing, both of them.
Right.
But the fact that they're already. This is full tank mode.
Right.
Who puts in Josh? You don't. Why do people put in Josh Rosen when the game's already over? You don't put him in when you're down by that much.
Right. He's not going to save you.
No, I mean, there's no benefit.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick can't save you, nobody can.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I just don't understand. I mean, I know the whole crowd was chanting for Rosen, and they had a loud pop when he came in.
Yeah.
Which was very quickly turned around because he threw a pick.
Right.
But just don't put him in. Just wait a week.
Yeah, I don't. How fast do you think Miami can turn this around? How long do you think it takes them to become a contender?
3 years, at the least.
I think 3 years is pretty generous. Considering, I think they need an entire overhaul.
This is terrible. This team,
anybody that's on that team right now, I don't think they're going to be on that team in
Mick
2
Fitzpatrick
years.
is the only talent.
I mean,
left.
you could say maybe Savion Howard, but he's maybe the most overrated corner.
I don't like him. I think Minka's talented. I like the rookie Wilkins. He looked pretty good.
When you're terrible, what is a good defensive tackle going to do for you?
We've brought that up a lot.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. He's no
I still
longer.
don't like him.
I know you don't, but he's no longer a running back.
I still don't like him.
Lamar Jackson, running back.
I mean, who are they playing this week?
Arizona.
I
like him this week in fantasy.
I do too, just because it's Arizona. But I also, I don't think he can keep it up.
Well, obviously he's not gonna.
I obviously won't keep up that, but I don't think he's gonna really be anything down the stretch. I still don't think he can throw a football in an NFL level.
I really liked how he looked. Granted, he was playing against Miami.
Yeah.
Which I want to see him play a good team before
I think Arizona.
Final judgment.
I think this game will be a decent test for him because I don't think
it's a solid.
There's something there in Arizona. You know, I mean, like Terrell Suggs was pretty good last week for some reason.
He was surprising.
Granted, he's more of like a package guy, but
he still looked. And
you still got Chandler Jones. Oh, Peterson's out, right?
He's suspended 4 games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick the Ravens to win that game.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't think Lamar Jackson is all that.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes. I really like him as a person.
Yeah.
He has got a lot of hate for being a running back that plays quarterback.
Right.
I want to see him succeed. It'd be nice to see him. That was actually the second time in NFL history 3 Heisman winners from the same team scored a touchdown.
Really?
RG3 threw one. Lamar Jackson got his, and Mark Ingram.
Wow.
Who would have thought, by the way, that RG3 would be throwing touchdowns in Week 1 while Andrew Luck is retired? I just wanted to bring that up. That's a crazy
times we live in.
RG3 looked good.
I mean, if you said that,
forever
5 years ago.
I mean,
no, longer than that, 7 years ago.
When the draft happened, maybe. But still, no one expected Luck.
Yeah, I mean, RG3 won that Rookie of the Year.
He did.
Long time
ago.
He
looked great.
People forget.
Let's go to RG3's Redskins.
Redskins.
Like former Redskins, obviously. Redskins, Eagles. Redskins looked great.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I told you.
Yeah, but
then they blew it,
because they're the Redskins and they're not that good. Good teams sometimes. I mean, they're still NFL teams. They're capable.
Keenum looked good.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No more Geis.
That hurt.
I guess we'll see if AP can do anything.
AP in moments looked all right.
Geis is going to be out until at least week 8 or 9.
He's out. Yeah, 8 or 9.
Yeah,
maybe 10. I like Adrian Peterson. Not a lot, but he's if you give him 20 carries, he'll probably.
I'm not a huge fan of just everything going on there. I'm not a Chris Thompson guy. We know they're not a good team.
Yeah, Keenum just looked like an actual quarterback again.
And he's not going to do that every week.
No, he's not. I see Haskins starting week 5-ish.
Yeah.
Eagles, I was like, well, all the Eagles hype is dead,
where did that
too.
come from?
And then, no. Yeah. Wentz showed, hey, I'm still one of the best young quarterbacks in football.
Yeah.
With one of the strongest arms.
And maybe the best roster in football.
That is a great roster they have. They have a lot of weapons.
I think that defense is pretty underrated, especially in fantasy. You see, the Eagles on the waiver wire sometimes in fantasy.
For, the daily fantasy people, Eagles was the second lowest.
Yeah.
Cost-wise.
That's wild, especially against a bad offense.
Yeah, they're going to. Last week. This week they're going against Atlanta.
That's going to be a really interesting game. I'm excited for that.
I don't know if Atlanta has a good offense.
your Atlanta playoff pick.
That did not look good.
I picked Atlanta to win that game.
I just thought Atlanta, they looked flat.
Yeah,
from the start. Nothing.
And you know why? Because Matt Ryan is a system quarterback.
He picked it up.
If they had a running back quarterback, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
He was good before Shanahan's offense.
I don't care.
All right. But, I mean, we'll go to that game. Vikings just controlled it the whole time.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins throws 98 yards.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, I guess that's what you got to do.
I mean, he was what? He was like 8 for 10.
It was ridiculous how little they threw the ball.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook looked
the Dalvin
great.
Cook show.
When you got Atlanta throwing the ball 46 times and carrying it like 10.
Yeah.
Compared to...
Cough, cough, Chicago.
Yeah. Except Matt Ryan threw for 300 yards.
Right.
And 2
Except
touchdowns.
Matt Ryan would actually like make the Bears like Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, definitely. If Matt Ryan was on Chicago, wow.
We should do that segment sometime.
What if we traded some quarterbacks?
Which quarterback would make the... How good would the Bears be with,
with
X
different quarterbacks? Yeah, that. Minnesota, I mean, Dalvin Cook, we all knew he was great.
Yeah.
But
we're just waiting for that knee to give out.
That's what it is, and I hate to say it, but that's sadly what it is.
Yeah.
Rams, Panthers.
Boring.
As a 30-27 game, it was a boring 30-27 game. Yeah. I mean, the Rams gave Carolina every possible chance to win that game, and Carolina did not want to take it.
It seemed like the trend of this past week was good teams just not showing up.
There were 2 good teams that definitely showed up.
Yeah.
In Kansas City and New England, those 2 teams.
And some bad teams that definitely showed up. I'm still gonna classify the Ravens as a bad team. I still don't like that roster at all.
They'd be in my top 10 teams right now. Yeah,
I'd say top 20 at best.
Carolina looks terrible. A lot of people were picking Carolina to win the division. That's a thing I saw.
Yeah.
So my Atlanta pick
not as bad.
Not nearly as bad as all those Carolina people.
And, like, I kind of get it, you know, when you got the Cam. I think a healthy Cam wins them that game last night, maybe even the week before.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he hurt? Like, I think
he's definitely hurt.
He looked hurt throwing that football.
There's just nothing on this. I mean, the guy won an MVP. We know he can play. And we know he's got a great arm, but there is something wrong with that shoulder.
It has to be. The Rams, yeah. Gurley played all right. I mean, he still got 100 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Gurley to give out, though.
It does not look like Darrell Henderson is the guy as the backup.
That's so disappointing.
Malcolm Brown, right? That's his name?
Yeah, Malcolm
I know it's Brown. He looked good.
Where did that come from?
No.
Like, I understand he was the guy, like, the first half of last season.
But, yeah, that's because Darrell Henderson wasn't there.
Right. You draft a guy in the 3rd round and you don't give him any carries. Yeah,
and then Malcolm Brown just killed, too. I mean, he was a big waiver wire target for a lot of people.
Right.
And he deserved to be.
Yeah.
There's just not much to talk about the Rams. They're the Rams.
Yeah.
They looked bad, but they won. So that's all that matters.
I guess my thing with the Rams is when is their window going to close? Because it almost feels like it's already on the downswing.
I mean, Gurley's looking like he's regressing.
Gurley's contract, eating up a ton of money.
They just paid Goff.
Paid Goff. That trio of receivers, they're going to have to get paid at some point. Granted, Cooks is already paid and Woods is kind of paid, but they're going to have to pay him more.
Yeah. Let's talk about an overreaction in the Cowboys-Giants game.
I did not watch any of that game, actually.
I watched a good amount, and wow, the Giants suck.
Yeah.
That's really what I took away from it. They ran cover 2 the whole game.
Yeah.
So, and then they're deep.
Way to make Dak look good.
I mean, yeah, he looked like one of the top 3 quarterbacks in football with that. I mean, all you would do is run a play action. Guy in the middle of the field would bite because it's Ezekiel Elliott,
right.
Amari Cooper, Randall Cobb, Michael Gallup.
Also, Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
Where did Randall Cobb come from?
I mean, everyone on that Cowboys offense looked fantastic, except Zeke.
Gallup was a hot waiver wire pickup, too.
Yeah, he should be. I liked him as a draft candidate, too, a lot of times. We did kind of talk about the Cardinals-Lions, but Stafford...
Carry on?
He didn't get any carries.
Yeah.
Like 13 carries for a run-heavy team.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm still mad about that because I lost.
And as a carry-on owner in my main league, it's
Me too. I mean, I was expecting a huge game.
Yeah, especially against that Arizona defense.
I was like, carry-on's going to get 25 carries. He's going to get 100 yards. He's going to look great.
Right.
Doesn't do a thing. Galladay.
Detroit plays Minnesota this week?
No, Minnesota plays Green Bay.
Minnesota? Oh, okay. So
Detroit.
What is the divisional matchup?
Detroit plays Chargers.
Oh.
That's not a good matchup for carry-on.
Chargers' run defense kind of sucked last year.
But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Derwin James being out hurts their entire defense as a whole.
Yeah.
But Galladay looked good. Danny Amendola was getting a bunch of touches.
also kind of lost in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Because that was what little I saw of. I wasn't able to watch a whole lot last week, but that was like, because when I was watching that overtime on my break at work, I saw Amendola not go out of bounds. It's like, what are you doing, dude? You've been in the league so long and you can't figure that out.
For being a vet, that was dumb.
Yeah.
49ers, Buccaneers. I'm with Matt.
We picked a shootout for that game. We thought that would be a super high score.
I mean, two supposedly good quarterbacks, talented quarterbacks. We'll say that for Jameis. And no defense, and then it's a snooze fest.
Right.
I mean, God, I want to go on a rant here about Jameis because I feel exactly how Matthew Berry felt.
Yeah.
When he said every time Jameis coming after the season, he puts up good fantasy numbers.
Yeah.
Like this year he'll still probably finish as a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
But in real football, he's not. And he's going to have games like this, but like every sign pointed to this is a good week for Jameis.
Yeah.
The Niners defense last year got 2 interceptions all season. They got 3 last week.
Right.
3. And
I think that Niners defense is better,
but
they're not
that good.
A good defense.
No, I mean Jameis.
Jimmy G disappointed a lot. I mean, I started him in fantasy.
I started Jameis.
I sat Kyler for Jimmy G.
Yeah, Jimmy G didn't look good against another bad defense, and Quan Alexander gets kicked out of the game.
Right. Like
right away for a bad hit. Well, that goes for Tampa, not for San Francisco. But yeah, like
right.
What Jameis, man? You got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got OJ Howard, you got all the weapons you want to throw the ball to, and you throw
Howard,
it to the defense.
Last night.
That was last night.
Honestly, I almost think that's a bigger story. 0 targets for OJ Howard.
Mike Evans hasn't been doing anything recently. I mean, he got like 4 catches for 61 yards, and then week 1 it was like 2 catches for like 30 yards. It's not. If you're in fantasy, if you're an owner,
Chris Godwin show.
Chris Godwin, who I have been really high on, looked great.
Yeah.
And he had 1 catch called back because his second foot wasn't in bounds. That would have added like 30 yards.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Mike Evans owner, which I am in a lot, I'm getting a little annoyed.
A little antsy.
I'm not gonna trade him.
I'm honestly buy low.
If I don't have Mike Evans, I'd definitely give up a subpar player, like a player that had a big week that won't like keep it going.
Would you trade Sammy Watkins for Mike Evans?
If I'm a Mike Evans owner, or if I'm a Sammy Watkins owner?
I guess from both perspectives. I think that's interesting. Sammy Watkins for Mike Evans?
I think no for both.
No for both?
Like if I'm Sammy Watkins, I
don't have any. I mean,
I have faith in Sammy Watkins now that Tyreek's out for like 8 weeks.
I don't know.
He's the number 1 guy. I like Hardman a lot. I know he only got
him stashed on the bench.
He got 1 target last week and he dropped it, but
he's still the Tyreek Hill right now.
He's now going to be used as if he was Tyreek Hill.
Right.
He's not going to be as.
To be honest with you, he might as well be.
Yeah.
I mean, just small fact. There's really nothing that special about Tyreek Hill other than that he's really fast.
I mean, he can jump.
Not to knock on him, but I mean, he's like a 5'10" guy. He doesn't have like crazy hands.
He is pretty good, and he jumps ridiculously high. Like some of the catches he makes, like week 1 last year against LA, he jumped like 5 feet in the air. It looked like to catch a ball.
Yeah,
and he does that a lot. I don't know if Hardman can jump like that nor catch like that because he dropped a screen pass.
Right.
We'll see how he plays. I still like Demarcus Robinson for the Chiefs. Not as much. Like don't start him in fantasy. Don't even pick him up yet. But have your eye on him this week. He might get a good amount. He might play the Sammy Watkins role now.
Right.
Like how Sammy did. But
I like a 3 touchdown game like once a year.
Mm-hmm. I just think Sammy is going to get a lot of targets right now.
But then once Hill is back, it's all over.
Who knows?
He's a bench stash and that's it.
We'll see. I mean, LA can suffice 3 great wide receivers.
I just don't think that offense is like made for that though. Especially when you've got 3 running backs that you're trying to balance, and you've got Kelsey, and you've got your best receiver is like a speed guy.
Yeah.
You know.
I really think Kelsey's going to be great without Tyreek. I think Mahomes will lean on him some more. I don't think Mahomes is going to try another no-look pass after he whiffed one.
Yeah.
He was pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was a touchdown.
Yeah.
And we had to get a field goal because of it.
Right.
But no one's making a big deal because they won by a lot. Gardner Minshew for Jacksonville.
I'm not on the hype train, but I was surprised.
I didn't think he'd play that good. I think the reason he played good,
Checkdowns.
not that too, but Kansas City was preparing all week.
Yeah.
Pocket passer isn't going to leave the pocket.
He might as well be Nick Foles.
And then Gardner Minshew rolled out.
Yeah.
He had way more legs than Nick Foles, who
Right.
is a standing person.
He's a statue.
He doesn't move. I feel bad for Nick Foles because he looked good.
Yeah.
He threw a great touchdown.
Hey, he's getting his money though.
Oh yeah, broken collarbone, doesn't matter. He's making bank.
When can he come back? What's the timeline for Nick Foles?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
Because I mean, the Jaguars are kind of a sleeper pick for winning that division.
When Luck was mentioned as retired, a lot of people were saying that.
I'm still on the Houston train.
Hey,
Deshaun Watson showed up a little bit.
There's your MVP
my MVP pick.
I really liked how he played.
I'm so sad I didn't get to draft him in any leagues.
Yeah, me neither, because he was going really high, and I'm not a big take a quarterback guy.
Yeah.
Unless it's.
and I think that third week league, or the second league we started, I took Rodgers high just because I didn't take any. I just wanted to do something different, you know?
Yeah, mix it
up a little bit.
I was thinking the whole time watching that first half, Texans Saints, I was like, I called it. The Saints aren't going to be as good. And then Drew Brees reminded me
that he's still Drew Brees.
I'm Drew Brees. And then I was like, all right, well, the Saints are going to get another loss because of a bad call. I didn't think that was roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
The rule is really iffy on that one. But
I don't really like. I think it's just splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but I don't think it's not a great talking point for me.
I didn't like the call.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see in overtime. But one thing, I don't know who Houston's DC is, needs to have a serious talking to.
Yeah.
We're on 40. And you're going to play prevent defense with 8 seconds left.
Prevent defense is so disgusting. Like, as a football fan, prevent defense is so unbelievably outdated and garbage.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It does not work. Breeze got a nice 10-yard hitch or curl, and it won them the game because you want to play 15 yards off. They got 8 seconds left. They're not throwing a Hail Mary because they're going to want to kick a field goal.
Right.
Like, what are you thinking? Why are you backing off? Press them. Don't let them get a quick throw in.
Because even if they throw that Hail Mary, you have a good chance of breaking it up. Or if they throw it deep over the middle or something, obviously they had a timeout.
They had one timeout.
They had a timeout, but at that point you've wasted too much time.
Yeah, I mean, an over the middle route would have been too long.
Right.
And just, what are you doing?
That 15-yard curl was perfect, and they just gave it to him.
Their DC sucked for that one.
Yeah. Hopefully he learns and all the other ones learn too.
Yeah, Hopkins got his penalty for going full WWE on the Saints corner, which I loved.
Yeah.
Looked really cool. I don't know if it needed the penalty. I think it was a tackle.
Right.
Like, people get hit hard in the NFL. It's not like it was
let
a
the
helmet
offensive players do their thing.
Yeah, let him hit. He doesn't get to do it.
Yeah.
Let him overpower someone.
How good of a safety do you think DeAndre Hopkins would be?
I think they should do what Atlanta does when they put Julio out there sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if there's a Hail Mary situation,
like
put DeAndre Hopkins.
Detroit used to do with Calvin all the time.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did that with Calvin.
Yeah.
He's not Gronk, so he's not going to lose you the game.
Right.
But, yeah, I liked that. Raiders are getting a lot of hype.
I still don't like Oakland.
I don't. They are going to... This week's going to let everyone know, hey, they're still Oakland. They play Kansas City.
Right. In L.A.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they play. They could play on the moon. It's Oakland, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to put up points because it's still Kansas City's defense.
And then what happens if they go down early and they can't just grind out Josh Jacobs the entire game?
They're going to go down.
It's going to be bad.
Like, their defense is not close, especially with their first-round pick safety, Jonathan Abrams, going down. They're not going to be able to keep up with Kansas City.
Yeah.
There's not really many teams that can, and Oakland is definitely not one of them.
Right.
Darren Waller.
Waller.
Yeah.
Super athletic. Good
Looked
tight end.
great. Looked great. I picked him up in a lot of leagues.
I think I
Because
already
I'm not-
had him in one league.
I wanted him, but I didn't take him because
Not worth a draft spot.
I was kind of high on Jordan Reed, but of course he's always hurt, so I had to drop him.
Mm-hmm.
But now Waller's my guy in a
Yeah.
lot. Delaney Walker, I told you, he still got it.
Yeah.
For the Titans.
I don't disagree.
He still has it. We'll see how much longer. Greg Olsen looked good.
Yeah.
As an old guy.
I mean, he's going to get hurt at some point.
Which suck. I mean, we say it a lot, but it's a real thing. Injuries happen a lot. Like, people are probably going to say Sammy Watkins is going to get injured at some point this year.
Yeah.
Because he gets hurt.
That's what he does.
Back to the Chiefs for a second. LaShawn McCoy, I don't know if you watched a lot of the game, looked incredible.
Yeah. And I think that role that he's in right now is perfect for him.
I think he's going to get an increased role, which he deserves.
Yeah, because he's the best running back on that roster.
Oh, by far.
Because he's still got it. Shady still got it.
That game, he's still definitely.
He doesn't have like the legs to do it with the same workload.
No, I think if he gets what Damian Williams did in that game, like that kind of workout, like they switch,
Yeah.
he'll be incredible.
Yeah.
This week, I wouldn't be mad at you if you're in a 12-team league and you started. I would
say,
were starting.
say you're in like a 14-team league with maybe you have like 3 running backs that you want to start. Shady is, I mean, you just want a guy that's going to get you a touchdown. Or some
Shady,
decent
I
yardage.
like Shady a lot.
I like Shady.
Still a great wide receiver. Like, he's still a great catching back.
Yeah, he's going to
making
do everything you
people
want him to.
Yeah, he's great. Let's just get it out the way. Patriots are still the Patriots.
Yeah.
I actually would have picked Pittsburgh this week just because every year New England likes to come out slow.
Right, they always suck at the beginning.
Yeah, and I was like, all right.
And I think that's shown us that this New England team is better than what they've had in a long time.
That defense looked wow.
This is the first. It's like there's like talent, and they're like because New England's defense has always been good, but it's never been because they've had like a ton of good players.
No, it's always been like a system thing.
Yeah, but like Hightower and Stephon Gilmore and like all these guys are looking good.
A lot. You and Colin with your Patriots predictions,
Yeah.
looking great right now.
Yeah.
My Chiefs predictions,
As much as I hate to
looking
say it.
great. Back to other predictions though. Bears.
Yeah, that's
Not
tough.
looking
That's
great.
tough.
I mean,
Pittsburgh making the playoffs. I mean,
that's tough.
We'll
Looking
see.
tough.
We'll
They
see.
did play New England,
They're playing Seattle this week. I think that's going
which
to be
is
really
another
interesting.
good game, but they need to pick it up. I know
Yeah.
Seattle has a good defense. You need to put up at least 20
Yeah,
points.
Big Ben needs to show
It's but let's go to the Bears. Trubisky, not looking good.
Bad.
I mean, like that was just.
I'm gonna put the game mostly on Nagy because I'm a believer in Trubisky. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. I'm gonna put that game 70 on Nagy and 30 on Trubisky.
I'm gonna go with 60 on Trubisky, 30 on Nagy, and 10 on the wide receivers. I didn't see a lot of separation. Which you
I'm gonna
can
put
put
that
up
on
to the
Nagy,
play
though.
calling, but I mean, if you get an out route, what else do you want Nagy to do? You run the out route.
Right.
You
But
get
Nagy
open.
also called that dumb corner play. Like,
Well, that doesn't mean
5
Trubisky has to
times.
throw it to Allen Robinson.
But it's so
when he's triple
predictable.
teamed.
It's so unbelievably predictable.
Throw it, but also decision.
And also, if you're Nagy, you got to know that Trubisky is just not having it this game.
Oh my
You
god!
got to understand that. And you got to start going to the run game.
He's either throwing.
How do you
it-
throw the ball 30 times in a row in a one-score game?
How do you? Well, that's because the run wasn't working great.
But you still got to do something, especially when you know that Trubisky is not looking good.
I think on the way home from that game, Nagy calls Pace and he's like, "Hey, we might need to do something about quarterback." Obviously, you don't make a trade. You can't. You don't trade. For
That's not how it
quarterback.
goes.
But you'd look like, "Hey, I don't know if we should pay this guy."
I don't, as of now. I mean, I might have said this before, but I think we said, if he doesn't progress at all, you don't pay him.
regressed.
He looked worse.
He looked like rookie Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Like 7 touchdowns, 7 picks.
And that looked like a John Fox offense.
It
was just bad all around.
Maybe Trey Burton will help. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Trey Burton will help, but
I don't
it's
think
like
he's that big. I don't think he's like that big of an influence
Yeah.
on the team.
Tarek Cohen did nothing.
Where was he?
Yeah.
Where was he? He didn't
And
get a carry.
I don't even put it on Cohen. I put it on
Yeah, he should. Mike Davis was used a ridiculous amount of times.
Yeah.
I mean, he did good. He did perform.
Solid.
But I wanted Montgomery.
But Cohen is the better player.
Montgomery looked so talented out there.
Yeah.
He was making he would turn a 5-yard loss into a 4-yard gain, and I'm like, this kid's got it.
Yeah,
he needs the ball.
The one where he was off tackle to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Spun around. Yeah.
And fell forward. He looked great.
Yeah, the man breaks tackles. I know they keep saying it, but that's what he does. He breaks tackles.
I don't know if we talked about the Bills-Jets, but no, we didn't. Not yet.
We didn't?
No, that was old one.
Oh, yeah.
But our guy, Josh Allen.
Not good.
Looked terrible in the first 3 quarters.
Until he decided to show up.
He looked amazing. And then, like I said, I think he can do it. I think he can get 4,000 and 1,000 with the rushing.
Right.
I think he's that talented.
Yeah.
As a thrower. I mean, John Brown looked pretty good. As a deep threat, he looked pretty good. Cole Beasley didn't show up. I honestly thought Cole Beasley would have been.
I thought Cole Beasley was like one of those weird guys, like one of those weird sleepers in fantasy where he like does something somehow for some reason.
I thought about drafting him a few times and seeing like, hey, maybe
it'll be worth it.
Maybe this is Allen's guy.
Yeah,
like how Edelman is Brady's guy. Like,
right.
Obviously, they're not going to be that same kind of connection, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Do you want to move on? You want to pick some games for this week?
I want to talk about like just a few good matchups. We don't want to run down the whole thing.
Okay, you want to talk about it from like a betting perspective? Like, some good bets for the week? Because I've got all the spreads right here.
I would like to see those. Okay. I want to talk about Saints Rams. I want to see what the spread is on that one. Because that
spread on Saints Rams is, let's see, Rams -2.5. I am not
really. Are they the home team too?
Yeah.
Really?
Home team is on the right, yeah. I'm picking the Saints.
I want to take the Saints on
I don't think the Rams can cover. What's the Miami spread? It's something crazy.
Oh my god, it's probably
18.5. Plus 18.5.
Do you think
I'm taking Miami.
Are you?
18.5?
I think New England.
That's almost 3 touchdowns. 18.5.
If you tell me the final score of that game is 24-3, are you going to be surprised?
No. But 18.5.
That means when you pick New England and they win, they take that. They're going to clear that. New England's going to beat them by 20.
I don't think they clear it.
I think New England's got it.
I think the crazier one, even crazier, Ravens plus 13.5 on Arizona.
I'm definitely taking Arizona.
Arizona.
I think Arizona loses by 10.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Houston's -8.5 on Jacksonville.
Yeah, I've got Jacksonville for that one.
I think it's a touchdown game.
Yeah.
I did like...
The only thing is, though, I mean, Houston at home is... And they did look good against the Saints last week.
They looked better than the Saints. They just lost, but they looked better. The best team doesn't win every game.
Right.
I really like Houston. I still think they're winning that division.
I agree.
They just are cursed to have to play in the same conference as Kansas City and New England, who I don't think they can compete with. If you put them in the NFC, I really like they could have been a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
But they're not, sadly. Eagles, Falcons,
Philly. It's basically a pick-em.
That's
Eagles,
a Philly,
Falcons.
too.
I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, Philly definitely covers that.
Broncos plus 1.5. I'm taking Chicago every time.
Oh, yeah, Chicago all the time. Chargers 2.5 on the Lions. I
got the Chargers.
I don't think the Lions have enough talent.
Titans -3.5 over the Colts. I'm taking Indianapolis.
You think Indy wins that game?
Yeah. And another interesting, a pick'em basically, -0.5 Cincinnati over San Francisco. I'm taking San Francisco.
I don't know. Jimmy G didn't look good. Andy Dalton did look good.
And I think my most sure pick of the week, other than Ravens Cardinals, Seahawks plus 3.5 on Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yes.
Kansas City -7. I'm gonna take Kansas City on that.
I've got it +8. Mine says +8.5.
Really?
Did it change to -7?
ESPN has it as -7.
Okay. CBS has +8.5.
If it's either way, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City takes that one because
easy.
They're gonna blow out at least 14.
It's interesting to me that like The Ravens have 13.5 on Arizona.
And Kansas City only has 7
On
Oakland.
Oakland
People
is
are
not that
overhyping Oakland.
Yeah.
But Josh Jacobs did look great.
Yeah, but Josh Jacobs isn't going to get you a win in Kansas City.
No.
Or within one score in Kansas City.
No, Kansas City's too good to lose to Oakland in week 2.
Yeah.
But I think that was a good talk.
I think that was solid. I kind of wish we could have got to Antonio Brown a little bit. Maybe we'll just save it until it's over, if it ever is over.
I just want to say this comment. If he did do it, I hope he goes to jail forever. He's a terrible person if he did do it.
I kind of think he didn't.
If he didn't do it, I hope that she gets the same punishment that he would have gotten. I'm not going to make a judgment on him based on this case without any evidence.
I agree.
Which way it goes, then I'll make my
Did you see
opinion.
the Instagram messages between him and some girl who's like friends with the trainer or something?
No, I didn't see
There's
it.
a bunch of Instagram messages between AB and this girl who's the friend of the trainer, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, she's making it all up, and she has proof and all this," and it's like,
we don't know.
yeah, I'm not gonna like make a set judgment, but
I think New England's playing him
it's-
this week. He's playing this week.
I don't know if I want to, because I'm an owner, you know.
As an owner of Antonio Brown, I don't know what I'd do.
Because Mike Williams might not play, is what they're saying. They're saying
And
he's
he
a
didn't
game time
even look
decision.
good. He did not look good.
So
in his
for
game.
me, it's Antonio Brown, Terry McLaurin, or James Washington for my second receiver.
James Washington didn't get. Well, I mean, he was.
I'm taking McLaurin over Washington.
Yeah, Washington did not look good. But
I've got AB
No one
in there
did.
right now. We'll see about it.
yeah, we'll see. I think it was a solid, short, and sweet episode.
Yeah, I mean, not even at 45 minutes.
Yeah,
like
just
it.
Kept it condensed.
Yeah.
All right, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
We'll,
Hopefully before the Thursday game.
yeah, recapping week 2 and seeing what storylines happened.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.